Kingsley.
So here we go. The moment of truth for Port Power. Welcome to the AFL. Monkhorst against Primus. Neither can get an effective tap out. Braden Lyle is in there. Got a left foot to it, but that was all Williams has claimed at the bottom of the pack. Ball is held. Paul Williams picks himself up and a little bit of muscle power, and he's lost it. Darryl Poole is going to take it, and he's a pretty mean man himself. So Port Power go into attack. Poole's kick is okay. Down towards the left forward pocket. They pounce upon it. It spills away. That was Cummings who wanted the opportunity. Didn't quite get the chance. Williams this time will clear again. Gets the hand pass past Russell. He had it only for a moment. Taken by Lyle. Under pressure. Ball is smothered. Patterson tries to get the hand pass out once more. An opportunity for Francis. Wobbles, turns and kicks inside the forward zone once more. This time Monkhorst though. Wobbles it across to his skipper in Gavin Brown. There's some experience there as Krasiska heads to the outer side and he finds Robbie Armack.
And Robbie Armack goes off to Patterson. Patterson way out on centre wing. Has a bounce. He's going to drive it long right down to the forward pocket. A one-on-one contest. Umpire calls play on. Here's Lee Walker on the boundary line. Couldn't control the ball and it rolls over the line about 25 metres around from the Collingwood goal. Lee Walker, 3 knee operations he's had, 3 major ones. It's great the fact he is even playing football. There's Matthew Primus, Anthony Rocker to do the ruck work. Osborne flies over the back. Here's a chance for Port Power through Mead. Over to Lyle. Lyle further afield to Dickey, who breaks away and drives it long down towards the half-forward line. Running past it was Burns. It's tapped down towards half-forward. Poole did well to get it across towards Brewer.
Gavin Brown.
Kicked away. Good play by Brown, who put his body in. It's kicked out towards Lee Walker. He traps it at half-back, but the umpire's going to bring it back to half-back. A free kick to Gavin Brown as he put his body in.
A lot of guys dive on the ball for self-preservation, but Gavin Brown then really did in that situation risk himself. Great effort.
Gains a few metres on a long kick up towards half-forward. 1-2 grabs. It's going to be okay. Taken by Huskus. Adam Huskus, of course, from Sydney, puts Primus under the gun, but he's equal to the task as he kicks towards half-forward.
He hasn't improved his kicking.
Patterson.
That's terribly wasteful, isn't it, when you're away on your own?
Well, I remember a game against in the night series, Pete, where he did a terrific effort, ran down the ground, but just didn't finish it off when he was playing for Fitzroy.
In fact, it was Scotty Burns who kicked it in towards the centre wing. Now, Williams has got a chance here. 60 metres out. 1 bounce. 55 out. In towards Rocker territory. Here he comes. Bang! He hits the ground. Can't take the mark. Paxman in the back pocket. Should tidy up for Port Power. He's under pressure, though. Loses the footy. The cry of ball goes up. Ahmad is there once again. Taken over the line. So a tense start here at the MCG. As yet no score to either side. Rocker beaten by Primus, but Williams rides him into the ground. And umpire Brian Sheehan, 37-year-old man in white, will come in for a bounce. Primus again up against Rocker. Clash of bodies at the bottom is Patterson. He snaps. The Magpies have started.
Well, he's a real little goer. Stephen Patterson is not the most stylish player around, but you can never discount the fact that when he's around the ball, he's going to put himself in. And here it is now. Anthony Rocker runs it at hard, just doesn't take it. And there he is at the bottom of the pack, picks it up. A real little goer, as I've mentioned. There he is, Stephen Patterson.
So Stephen Patterson has kicked Collingwood's first. He is a renowned goal kicker. So Matthew Primus taking on Damien Monkhorst. Monkhorst got his hand with Lyle, former West Coast Eagle, but it's taken by Buckley. Buckley against his old club brings it out towards centre wing. It's knocked to the boundary line. Good thinking by Michael Wilson on that occasion, and he puts it over. They've had plenty of the ball, Port Power so far. Just a couple of errant kicks to their forwards have let them down. It's important early they stay with the Magpies. Don't let them get a run on. There's Monkhorst looking down towards Curran. A pack develops and they pounce on it, and it will be a bounce.
Pete, while everyone talks about the importance of this game for Port Power, it's equally as important for Collingwood, isn't it?
Huge game for Collingwood, because they've been disappointing the last few years. We see a perfect day for football. Hardly any sun. Currently 17 degrees. Expected top about 19. The conditions players absolutely love. Here's Braden Lyle again. Patterson was in after him. Brown races in for Port Power. Walker scoops it up beautifully, and it's brought in by Curran in towards the half-forward line. Taken by Richard Osborne, almost a throw.
Oh, smart.
Further hand pass to Walker, good play. Walker chips to Patterson, great play by Lee Walker, and Patterson will kick for goal from 15 metres for his second.
Gee, there was a smart hand pass. Oh, excellent hand pass. And Lee Walker going back to acknowledge Shane Watson there he is. Watch this hand pass. Quick stuff before it even hit the ground. Excellent. And it's good to see teammates going back and acknowledging the little things now. And that was Lee Walker going back to Watson. So and Patterson, the chance for his second.
It's only 50 metres out, directly in front. And it'll be a great start to Collingwood. They've got an army of supporters here today, although I did see a number of Port Power ones coming into the ground also. There's the kick, it's a goal. So a great start to Collingwood, 2 goals straight, and Port Power yet to score.
One on the negative side, Peter, and that was the way that Anthony Rocker hit the ball. Maybe we'll get the replay. He really should have made better of it. And there's the hand bump, but just prior to that, Anthony Rocker came out, he spilled the ball. He really should have taken it. Went across to Osborne, Osborne across to Watson, and Watson in turn to Walker.
A good start by Collingwood and a confidence-boosting start for Lee Walker. 3 knee reconstructions. Finally, he's back. He gets his chance. Monkhorst out of the middle. Look towards McDonald. He won't take it, but his teammate will. Down towards the half-forward line. Now the race is on. Paxman defends. Gets ridden into the ground by Watson. Needs help, and he gets it. That was through Kingsley. Down towards Brown. Takes the mark and plays on straight away. In towards the middle. The mark taken by Shane Brewer. Former Cat goes up towards half-forward. Kick is not okay for Heaver. He goes over the top to Fabian Francis. Francis, 60 metres out. Wobbles an ugly-looking punt kick into the forward line. No mark taken. Again, maybe a sign of nerves, although Brown has ripped off the ball. Here's David Brown for Port Power in the full forward. Mark's not going to be paid, and it's eventually rushed over the line. First score for Port Power is 1 behind.
Terrific effort by Gavin Krasiska there, nearly pulled it in.
I think Fabian Francis.
Look at that for an effort. I would have paid that.
And Fabian Francis, I think, Sandy, is going to be a very exciting player for Port Power. I saw him in their premiership win, and he was outstanding.
Well, he was a good player when he was at Melbourne too, Peter.
You may know who's kicking in. The boos are coming from Port Power fans. Their former champion Nathan Buckley goes towards Monkhorst. It's belted by Russell down towards McDonald. He runs into trouble. He didn't. And it's going to be a costly turnover maybe as they get it down towards the half-forward line once again, and Heaver. 60 metres out is Brent Heaver. Well, if Patterson is a goal kicker for Collingwood, Heaver is also for Port Power. Chip short. Not a good one. Intercepted by Brown.
Starting to come back into form over the last couple of weeks. A little slow to find it initially, but he's a good player, Gavin Brown.
Kicks towards the middle. Primus didn't hold it long enough. Lays a tackle on Patterson. Rocker also solid. That was on Josh Franco. And another bounce. There's Franco wearing number 10. Averaged 20 possessions a game last year. Waltzed in with the McGarry medal.
See some of those players out there, Sandy. I think I played against his father from Port Adelaide, from North Adelaide, Murray.
Yep.
Well, good play to show a lot of desperation. There was Carter getting it up. Look at Brown under Williams. Brown fitter than he's ever been. Chips it in short to Curran, and the Magpies go forward. It's kicked to the pocket. Patterson, can he get his third? He's going to race in the goal.
Oh, he's gone too far.
That's it through for third goal. Well played. So Collingwood doing it well. The Magpie army screaming. Port have had plenty of chances, but Aaron kicking down on that forward line is letting them down.
Well, I thought initially he'd run too far. Watch this, the build up once again. Curran under real pressure to get it away, but just gets it away. But look at Patterson. He takes it. He's gone. No bounce. Very lucky.
Well, this quarter at the moment belongs to Stephen Patterson. 39 games to his credit as Primus sets himself in the middle again up against Monkhorst. Neither gets a decisive tap. Tackle could have been high on Williams. Players allowed to go on. Francis over the top. Also there is Braden Lyle. He picks himself up. And they'll do it all again in the middle. Very little breeze here at the MCG. Monkhorst positions himself nicely and then palms it with the left hand, but the whistle has sounded and he's going to go back and take the free kick anyway to half forward. So dangerous times here. Scotty Russell has it. He's clear. Stabs him towards full forward.
No,
Rocket, but it's going to come back, and they're going to lose this. It's turned over on half back. It's going to be taken by Darren Mead, who turns 26 today. He'll remember this birthday for a long, long time to come.
So Darren Mead is at half back. He chips it out wide. Good play. He found his teammate out there in Stephen Carter. Carter immediately gets on with the play. A well-directed kick to Brown. Brown, formerly of the Crows, onto the right foot, brings it down towards the half-forward line. Oh, Poole was caught high. Socket off the ground. That was by Lade. A kick in mid-air, and it's wide and out on the full. So it was Shane Brewer, the former Geelong player. It'll be a Collingwood penalty kick to Paul Williams.
Under 12 minutes left in this first quarter. Port Power still looking for their first goal. An opportunity now. Quick turnover. Goes the way of Donald Dickey. Dickey's kick, however, again dropped short. Williams has been busy in this first quarter. Wobbled one back towards the centre of the ground. Again taken by Dickey. This time he finds his acting captain, Braden Lyle. Wanganeen watching from the stands. No mark, although it was a fine effort. Gavin Brown works hard. Look at them pounce him there. And Darryl Poole really throwing his weight around.
I'll tell you what, they're all the Port Power guys are having
well, around midfield, Peter, they're doing all right, but they're just not capitalising across half forward and down on the full forward line. But across midfield, doing particularly well.
Poole doing the ruck work. He'll have a go. He missed last year's grand final through suspension. Williams yet another possession. It was a good one too. His hand pass is going to be okay. Krasiska now runs clear. Goes over the centre, up towards half forward, to left half forward, and the defence again
lucky.
being asked to work hard. Primus did initially get it out. Gee, they're finding all about it now as Francis finally gets clear to Primus. He kicks up towards right half forward.
Well, they're certainly getting plenty of the ball. Poole goes in hard. A hand pass to Brewer. Here's their chance for their first goal in the AFL. Brewer, yes, he's got it. Good play by Port, and there's their supporters that have come over from Adelaide, and they're happy because they're on the board with their first goal.
Well, Shane Brewer showed real skill when he was at Geelong. Real skill. He's been a little bit in and out as far as his form in recent weeks, but he shows there it is, the handball over, and he finishes off very, very well.
Well, Shane Brewer will go down in the history books. The first player to kick the first goal for Port Power in the AFL. Brown kicks down towards Heaver. He was taken off the football. Stabbed by Buckley is okay. Collingwood defence through Wild. Go back towards centre wing. Russell floats a high, long hand pass for the monkey. His kick wobbles into right half forward. Richard Osborne is taking
whether that's a lack of football by the big fella there. He really should have delivered the ball a little bit better. As I mentioned earlier about the back ailment, he hasn't had too much footy.
I thought you would have called it a typical ruckman's kick, Don.
No, well, it's just a lag. He showed he's got it, Peter. He's just not quite fit enough.
McDonald comes over the back with a big fist. Going in towards centre half forward. Patterson, the hand pass. Look out, Russell. Gone from behind.
Oh.
Still Patterson. A left foot floater almost finds Anthony Rocker. Got one hand to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Primus tried to go through. Lost the football in the process. Severio Rocker also loses it. It's taken away by Kingsley. His pass is going to be okay. And they're out of trouble. Up towards centre wing. Oh, Braden Lyle's got a panic. But he eventually gets caught. Kicks to right half forward. Taken by Krasiska. Again to the wide open spaces. Krasiska's kick is taken by Curran.
Well, he had to do that, Hughes, because it was a professional free kick and he really had to do something because they were away, Collingwood. It was a 2-on-1 situation. There he is, Adam Huskus, holding Curran up, and you can't quibble about that free kick.
He's 60 metres out. He's been called to play on now. A centering kick into half forward. Williams was the flyer in front. Couldn't take it cleanly. Here's Lee Walker. Pops the hand pass over the top. Goes towards Williams. He steps. Another one for the Magpies.
Actually, I've watched Walker on 2 occasions. That occasion there he is on screen setting it up. He opens himself right up. He could have been cleaned up earlier by Matthew Primus. Now watch this, the way he goes in for the ball. He'll come through now. There he is. Look, he's as open as a garden gate. Down he goes. Maybe he's a little bit injury prone because he doesn't look after himself.
Weren't you taught to shut the gate?
He's open as a garden gate. He goes straight through them, Sandy.
So back to the centre, Monkhorst versus Primus. Monkhorst gets first hand to it. Lyle's getting plenty of touches. He's caught. Could have been pinged for holding it. Primus, desperation, well played by the big fella. Hand pass comes out wide. Wilson receives. Michael Wilson down towards the half-forward line. They're getting plenty of the ball, the power. Here's Nathan Buckley. He's tapping it to the line, very professionally done. He disguised it well, will be a throw-in. But all the Port Power were a little bit overawed. They just have to improve that disposal around the ground, and particularly to their forwards, and they'll be right in this game. Buckley, the champion player in the AFL, enormous skills. Here's Poole, who's been throwing his weight round, just used his body very well, the big fella. On the Brewer. Brewer's going to chip it across. It's a mark to Heaver. Not played. Not far enough, said the umpire. That's bad luck because he would have had a shot for goal. On the left foot is Nathan Buckley. The mark is dropped down there by Mead. But Fabian Francis has got it. He belts it to the full forward area of the ruckman fly. Over the back. Here's Heaver.
That's his goal.
Another goal. Well played, Brett Heaver.
Trouble behind. Someone's down.
Let's hope he is all right. But that's Brett Heaver's go. The roaming of the packs on the forward line. He did it so well at Carlton. And Primus coming off. So that's an interesting move. And Francis doing really well around midfield. As Primus goes off, on comes Shane Bond. And there he is, finishing it off, Brett Heaver.
So Port Power getting into it now. Brett Heaver has one. Shane Brewer has one. 2 of their gun recruits. This time it's Curran who kicks to half forward. Only as far, however, as Darren Mead. Mead goes to the outer side. The race is on, and Brown it is who leads. Under pressure, goes on the left foot, kicks towards centre wing. He may get another chance. He will. Collingwood looking for the quick reply. McDonald, a fierce tackle. Port Adelaide know all about aggression. There's so much of that in their long tradition. Brown pops one over the top. They've got a chance to go forward again. Great smother, however. Maybe a turnover. Has belted over the line as Darryl Poole.
Brendan Lade's Sandy, Brendan Lade's now on the ball, the South Adelaide ruckman. And it's great to see guys really apply themselves. He's lost 14 kilos. There's Primus on the bench. He's lost 14 kilos over summer. He is number 20.
Schäuble again comes over the top. Down on all fours is Shane Bond, who's getting his chance. The kick by Francis is high. Buckley unable to take it cleanly. It's paddled out. Maybe an opportunity for Monkhorst on all fours. He gets crunched by Darryl Poole. Don't worry about him. Also running into trouble is Shane Bond.
High. Too high.
I'll tell you what, showing plenty of aggression, Port, Sandy.
Well, John Carr would have had him fired up. Don't worry. Shane Bond started on the bench. 34 games with the West Coast. Again, a costly turnover as Gavin Brown marks safely in defence. He goes from half back, heading to the outer side. Russell's his target. Well, somehow he managed to get boot to ball, and it's going to be okay. However, only as far as Mead. His kick in towards centre half forward. Drops a little short. They're ready to pounce upon it now. Shane Brewer is there once again. The elusive Shane Brewer. Kicks towards half forward.
Good effort.
First to recover was Squire. May go again. Decided to leave it for his teammate. Now he's got to tackle Brown. Gets him in a headlock and says, "You're going nowhere."
Well, this is a terrific game. The Magpies have kicked 4 goals straight, but they're not getting it all their own way. Port Power are fired up. They're charging in. Their tackling has been fantastic, and desire for the ball very impressive. They've just got to improve their kicking. Oh, that's a free kick against Shawwell. You can't do that. Your first objective has to be to go for the ball.
Paul actually did it at the boundary throw-in earlier, Peter, and got away with it. And it should be eyes on the ball.
So he's doing well, Daryl Poole. He's throwing his weight, man. He's a big, strong fella. Down towards Cummings. It's over the back. Here's Brown. Will it sit for him? David Brown. A hand pass. Oh, brought down the ground as he was racing into goal. Is the Port Adelaide player in Cummings, former Bomber. Good tackling by Collingwood, but they're right in this Port Power. 4 goals Collingwood and Port Power 2-2.
Scott Cummings appears to have recovered from that heavy knock he copped a few minutes ago. Buckley, the designated kicker, brings it out to Gavin Francisco. Made his debut in the AFL back in 1987. Kicks towards centre wing. Michael Wilson is first there for Port Power. Drifts it into the centre, and Donald Dickey could be away. Sweeps the hand pass wide, finding Heaver. A little chip in towards the 50. Brewer marks. Well, they've settled, and now Shane Brewer is going to kick them deep into attack.
Cummings.
A 1 out duel. Cummings got a hand to it, but that was all. Collingwood have the numbers. Oh, Williams tidies up. Maybe he doesn't. Donald Dickey may have a chance to go in towards centre half forward.
Oh, lucky. He's paid it. Well done. In the back. My word. I thought he was going to get away with it, Gavin Francisco. But the umpire spotted it. Good decision.
Bond, I think it is at the bottom.
And here is the free kick. Watch Bond in front. You can see Francisco there. Arm over the shoulder, cannoning into the back of Shane Bond.
So Bond now a chance to make the margin just 4 points. What an excellent debut it has been.
Alex McDonald. Sorry, Sandy. Alex McDonald coming off, and Scott Crow on.
And he's done it. Shane Bond has his first, and Port Power are looking all right. 3-2, plays 4 straight.
And here's the free kick once again. There was a high ball coming up. Could have been against Heaver on that occasion. He was holding. But the umpire picked the one behind.
Magnificent atmosphere here at the MCG, where Collingwood lead by 4 points. A lot of people thought they'd run away with it. Patterson. Now raceway is John Barnett. Down towards the forward line. Rocker! Uncontested. Takes the mark. 30 metres from goal, directly in front.
Paxman anticipated the ball going to the right. Hence Rocker left by himself. Here's the ball coming out. Now Paxman has gone to the right of screen. You can see there he's so far behind.
And John Barnett, who kicked that down, formerly of North Melbourne and Hawthorn. So his 3rd AFL club. Rocker is a magnificent kick normally. Should not miss this one, directly in front. Saverio Rocker drives at goal. And they're happy he's kicked it. So the first goal of the match for the big fella at full forward. It'll be first of many, I would think.
Peter, there's really no margin for error. He really drops the ball close to his boot, doesn't he, Rocker, when he has a shot for goal. Very, very tight in composure when kicking the ball. There's Barnett sending it long. Paxman, anticipation, a little astray. Now watch this for kicking. Very, very nice. Head over the ball, very tight. A nice straight follow through. Reminiscent of yours truly, Peter.
Thank you, Don.
10 points the margin. He said yours truly, he meant himself. Dickey. in the middle, runs into trouble. Ball spills free. Moncourt's right on it, and look at them. Careful, boys. Another bounce. Little test of strength there between Heaver, Monkhorst. Pete and Don still discussing their magnificent kicking styles. Days gone by. Schäuble came over the top. Dickey is there for Port Power. He runs into trouble, but he gives it away towards Francis. Wobbles one down towards half forward. Hand pass goes slightly astray. Oh, Paul went through it. He almost had a chance there. Now Patterson finds Monkhorst. If he's clear, the big man, he is to the run of Williams. Williams has a look down towards half forward. We're in Rocker territory now.
Oh, there's a push out.
He's gone unnoticed.
How can the umpire... Oh, Sandy, he's right in position. One guy goes forward. Have a look.
Anthony at the back. Have a look at that.
Look, he pushes that bloke out, and then he takes the mark, and the umpire's the left of the pack.
That's bad.
He took his brother out as well.
He did.
And Anabuskis complaining, and he's got every right to complain against his teammate. Those two played in Sydney together last year.
So Anthony Rocker about to kick his first. Looks okay, but Port Power fans won't be happy with that.
Actually, that was a bad one. But Anthony Rocker, wearing Craig Kelly's old number 23, was also worn by a former captain and Ray Shaw. Here's the ball coming down from Paul Williams. They're going to go long and high because they've got the big fellows down there. Takes a lot of courage to do what Paxman did to back into the pack, but Huskers pushed out by Anthony Rocker.
Yes, with three umpires, Don, you shouldn't really miss those. So back to the centre, good kicking by Collingwood, and lead by 16 points. Starting to get on top. Paul Williams out of the middle. A quick kick. Oh, almost a mark to Rocker. Umpire calls us, paid a free kick against him this time as the hand pass goes off, and it's brought out towards the half-back line to Dickey.
He was playing suburban football last year, about 12 months ago.
Well, he looks as though he can play, that's for sure. Down towards half-forward. Braden Lyle has taken the most. He's getting plenty of touches, Lyle. Very experienced player, of course. Down towards Bond. Oh, almost a mark. Couldn't take it, but he's got support inside here by Franco. Now it's Fabian Francis centering the ball. Will it be marked? He put his body on the line. Well played, Gavin Brown. Further afield he gives it as they go forward through Robbie Ahmed. Now it's Rocker. This is Anthony Rocker, a long way from goal. Brings it up towards the half-forward line. Oh, big crunch. That was Paxman flying through. Holding the man. It should be a free kick there to Carter. Umpire calls play off. And the umpire's now going to come in and bounce it at half-back.
I think you'd pay that because he retarded the player who's actually running for the ball. Now, you just can't retard a player like it was done on that occasion.
Umpire Steve McBurney is the one officiating there, 29-year-old solicitor. Inside the last minute of this first quarter. Anthony Rocker stands his ground. Scott Russell, a penetrating hand pass was excellent towards Burns. In towards full forward. Serve! One-hander!
Now that is excellent body work. You see players nowadays hanging on, holding. And the art of using your body, as was just illustrated then, that was a great hand pass too. The art of using the body. Rocker, watch this. Just the body. Terrific stuff.
So he's going to take the kick after the siren. This to make it 7 straight for the quarter for Collingwood. 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. Rocker has kicked the goal. So it ends a perfect quarter in front of the big sticks as far as Collingwood's concerned. Patterson started them off. He booted 3 early ones. And then the Rocker boys decided to get into the act. But John Cale, I think, could feel justifiably proud of Port Power's first quarter of football in the AFL as Tony this to get the second quarter underway. An excellent first quarter. Monkhorst is beaten by the youngster there in Lade. The first goal will be important to Port Power if they're going to stay with Collingwood. It comes out the back. Could have been some holding on there on Bond. He pounces on the top and asks the question yet again, but he's ignored.
Fabian Francis did well getting that ball out of the centre. Then he's a very highly skilled player.
So a bounce in the right forward pocket. Bond is there. Brewer is there wearing 3. Kicked an early goal for them. Poole picks it up. He might have a shot himself. No, he gets the hand pass back to Heaver. Brent Heaver has kicked the goal. That's what they wanted. His second.
And that's his forte. Around goals, Brett Heaver. If he could just add a little bit of fitness to his game and get up around the ground and become a real true rover, he'd be a real benefit to the side. But he's a real goal sneak. He anticipates well off the hands of the pack.
Are you impressed with the big fella Poole down there, Don?
Well, Poole, but also the guy in the centre here, Lade's doing particularly well. He's caused Monkhorst to start to come off an angle, which means that he's starting to out-jump him, and Monkhorst's got to use a bit of strength against him.
Well, there's Lade again. Poole attacked the ball. Hand pass by Brewer. Francis was flying. Oh, good play. Here goes Fabian Francis through the middle. Bang. Oh, he's missed it. It deserved a goal, that play.
That's the guy that they've got to watch.
He is a good player. As I said earlier, I saw him in their premiership win, and he was the outstanding player on the ground. He looked a class above everyone out there.
A couple of lightning hand passes in that passage of play. So the power is definitely on here at the MCG. Don't worry about that. Buckley takes the mark. Monkhorst running through the middle. The big monkey just about gets claimed, but he gets his hand pass away towards Gavin Krosiska. Pushed as he went to take the kick. Pushed illegally, said the umpire. It'll come back to Krosiska. Lade can't believe it. Krosiska plays on to Williams, who had a big first quarter. Floating punt kick towards Rocker. Anthony couldn't take it. Patterson waiting in front. He couldn't take it either. They get out of trouble just for the moment. Back towards centre. Oh, what a mark!
He had his name written all over that. It was in mid-air. You could see he had the set, beautiful mark.
Nathan Buckley has got this crowd buzzing. He kicks towards Anthony Rocker, unable to take it. Trying to force his way through was Carter. Only a short kick over. Crow gives it to Osborne. Aussie's kick is high, a rainmaker, and don't we need it? Only as far as Dickey. And
He's done well too, this fellow.
Donald Dickey. Wide, finding Paxman over the top, and he's got Shane Brewer. They're out of trouble.
Yes, he's given it over to Stephen Carter. That's better kicking around the ground. Monkhorst chipped in. Good play by Big Monkey. And over the line it goes. So let's have a look at this mark, Don.
That was just magnificent. As the ball was in flight, you could see that Buckley had the set.
So half forward, a long way out at half forward. Poole doing well. And some heavy work. Scott Russell, a clever hand pass. He's looking out here for Curran. Curran gets it to Robbie Ahmed. Ahmed on the left boot, brings it down towards half forward. Lee Walker's back with the flight of the ball.
He's open, isn't he?
Oh, gee, some courage needed there. Wilson's got it. Gets it further afield. He's got to support Adam Kingsley. They're transferring play here, and they drive it out the Port Power. Way out toward by Huskus, way out towards half-back line and over. Good game of football to watch. Adam Huskus, a former Swan.
Playing his 50th game today.
Probably the most improved player in the AFL last year, playing half-back for Sydney, Adam Huskus.
Paxman and Severio Rocker, Lade, Williams. Hand pass ineffective in the end. Well, that's going to be a Collingwood free kick on the outer side. Be taken by Williams. Kicks to half forward. Wants Monkhorst. Lade. Kingsley at the bottom of the pack. Couldn't take it. They get it to the 50-metre line, almost like rugby, as it was Watson who tried to get it out the back door. Now Brown may get a chance. He does. Although he's quickly claimed, he'll go again. Good interception.
That's a great tackle.
And a fabulous tackle by Shawville is not rewarded. Derek Humphrey-Smith says, I'll have it.
Great tackle.
In the middle of the ground. Worth another look, Don.
Yeah, look, he wrapped the hand up. And I don't know whether he really did make an attempt to get rid of it.
I thought he should have been pinged, Don.
Shawville goes again. Gives it towards Crow. It's a hot potato at the moment as Brown goes to ground. He's buried down there somewhere.
The pressure of that tackle, Peter, really does put you in two minds. If you can really tackle hard, and I suppose he was in two minds as to what they do. And Richard Osmond coming off here. Richard really hasn't contributed. He's had the one kick. And coming on is John Barnett once again.
So the bounce almost in the centre. Poole doing some good work. David Brown gets his boot to it. Brewer's got a couple to beat. There's Nathan Buckley. He'll have a bounce. He's caught. He got a hand pass in, so the umpire let him get away with it. Dickey. That was Stephen Patterson. Here's Fabian Francis. Well played to Lyle. Back to Francis. That's his ninth kick. David Brown. He couldn't get back. Here's Gavin Krasiska. He'll go towards the boundary line. And this reliable halfback has got it. Drives it around to Robbie Ahmed, who should mark it. He does. He's got Patterson on his own. Now he's got Burns. The ball was smothered off the boot. Strong tackling by Port Adelaide, by Port Power. Yeah. Now, Bond, Brown. Oh, Brown's in too much of a hurry to get rid of it. Krasiska, that's the pressure, as Don Scott was saying. Patterson on to Brown, who's fitter than he's been for years. Oh, that's deliberate.
Yeah.
That's against you, Scott Russell, I think. Deliberate.
I think the ball was over the boundary. Oh, it wasn't. Scott thought it was over the boundary line.
Well,
no, it wasn't Scott.
So Lyle will take the kick on centre wing. It's okay, but it's to a very congested half-forward line. A strong mark taken by Schauble. Poole offering plenty of opposition, but Schauble a good pair of hands. He kicks to half-forward, and strong flying mark by Walker.
He's not bad, is he, Walker?
It's going to be a memorable comeback as he finds Williams, who can go for goal. One bounce. Donald Dickey's giving chase. He won't get him. And there's another one to the Magpies. Williams kicks his second, and Collingwood keep this perfect scoring record intact.
Well, the work is also done by Lee Walker, and it's good to see the players go back and acknowledge Walker.
Good mark, wasn't it?
Listen, Peter, he is reckless, isn't he, in the way that he goes to the ball. I said he leaves himself wide open, and no wonder he copped so many injuries.
Well, that's why they hung on to him.
Well, and he's also had the 3 knee operations, you said, but he's holding down centre half forward, the hardest position on the ground to play.
Another goal to the Magpies after a brilliant mark by Lee Walker. And beautiful kicking, 8 straight. Now, David Brown, a quick kick to half forward. The mark's taken by Brewer. So Shane Brewer's got to get back quickly and leave his forwards one out. Here's the lead into the pocket. They've got a couple of marking options. Taken away by Gavin Krasiska, who goes for the line with an educated kick and finds it. And he's having a chat down there to Simon Prestigiacomo.
He was doing a Lee Adamson on that occasion, Simon Prestigiacomo. He was looking at his opponent instead of looking at the ball. Peter Hudson,
you've got a long memory, you have, Scotty. So it's at half forward. Here's Moncourse getting it out to Curran. That's good play. On to Russell. On to Walker. Walker back with the flight. He's off. Gives it to Patterson. Danger here for Port Power because Anthony Rocker will mark it half forward. And he is a booming kick. His brother's back in the goal square. He should have a shot. No, he's going to go for the short one. Oh, will it find the mark? Yes, that's a good mark by Scott Crowe. Courage, he's hurt.
My word.
He copped that in the kidney or in the hip region.
Really put him under a lot of pressure then, Anthony Rocker. And Crowe was equal to the task. He stood his ground. Now there's a short one. Look at Crowe. You really do have to stand your ground in those situations, and he did.
And he got the knee in the hip. But Scotty Crowe, he's been a terrific player for Collingwood, discarded by Hawthorn. And
not a good decision by Hawthorn.
He might
a lot of talent.
Wouldn't have been discarded if Don Scott was running the show at Hawthorn, of course. But Scott got now. Can he keep this great kicking record? It's a low trajectory one. It's a goal. So Collingwood have kicked 9 straight, and their supporters are very happy.
Well, it wasn't a good kick off the boot, but nonetheless it found its mark. And Scotty Crowe had a terrific year last year playing across midfield. Obviously his form's gone off a little bit. He started on the bench today. Anthony Rocker, the skill of guys nowadays is really quite incredible. You cannot allow them, a metre break because they'll be hit with the ball, and it was on that occasion. Great delivery to Rocker. Not the wisest of kicks by Anthony Rocker, but nonetheless, Collingwood have scored.
27 points is the margin. Scores doubled at the moment. Walker storms through but runs into trouble. So too did Curran. Walker will get another chance, but again lost it. Locking it up is Adam Kingsley.
It's quite interesting what Monkhorst did on that occasion to young Lade. He put him on his behind. Now that might be a bit of a softener because Lade is a better jumper.
I thought it was surprising to have Primus off the ground though.
Well,
Don.
I thought so too, but Lady is a good jumper of the ball. He's beaten Monkhorst, but he's not quite as mobile around the ground. Pretty slow around the ground.
Anthony Rocker not appreciating some attention there and making his feelings known.
I actually thought Port Power were playing better when Primus was on the ground.
There he is.
So interesting, Downsbury. He was a real workhorse for West Coast, and there's a great leap.
That was Darren Mead. Across the pool, he's in trouble. So too is Lyle. Finds Fabian Francis. Away goes Fabian. Up towards the half-forward line. Buckley couldn't take the mark, so cleverly belted it out the back door. But it's the power of the numbers. It's Brown around his body. Gavin Brown.
Well done, Gavin Brown.
Backed into the pack. Oh, and ducked his head and was claimed. Loses the football, but he got rid of it okay. Delightfully picked up by Buckley. Kicks it wide. Knew he needed assistance and didn't have it there. Barnett gets a favourable bounce. Rocker provides the Shepherd. Barnett's hand pass in towards left half forward. Puts Patterson under the gun. He's got to go again. He does. Past McDonald and eventually sock it out on the full. So it will come back to Alex McDonald. Now the umpire's really putting the heat on here. They're going to kick 10 straight. McDonald is not even going to attempt it. He's going short.
That is bad marking, isn't it?
Russell all alone. This for 10 straight. Scotty Russell. "25 metres out. Oh, I think he's kept the perfect record intact.
I suppose it's happened before, but I've got to really go back through the record books to see if that's been 10 straight goals. That's unbelievable. From the start of the game, and I wonder whether it's been done before, but it'll send the historians searching through the record books. And there's the pass, and excellent effort by Collingwood.
Beautiful kicking by Collingwood. Mind you, most of them have been pretty straightforward shots for goal, but still a good effort. Now, here's Paul Williams. Oh, crashed into Brown. That's Bond getting it further afield towards Kingsley. Kingsley, a quick kick, but the mark has been taken by Nathan Buckley. Buckley brings it into Gavin Brown, who's moving like a 2-year-old out there. Oh. He brings it in towards the centre of the ground, and he finds Alex McDonald, the former Hawk. McDonald will drive it with a wobbly kick down to Rocker. He's got it. No, he couldn't grab it on the third bite. Was caught high. Taken away by Paxman. Brewer will fly in the centre of the ground. Couldn't mark. McDonald. Here's Brown. Playing well, Gavin Brown. Brings it to centre wing. The mark has been taken by Shane Brewer.
And it is good to see. You mentioned, Peter, about Gavin Brown moving so well. It's great to see.
Brewer having his hands full with Buckley. Finds Heaver.
Late coming off and Primus back on for Port.
He goes short and it's okay. The mark is taken by Burgoyne. There's Primus back on the ground as Peter Burgoyne kicks long, centering kick. It's okay, but Cummings unable to take the mark. Certainly feeling the pressure there, so too is Bond. The tackling is fierce as Presta Giacomo comes away. Still on behind play. Presta doesn't worry about that. Kicks to the half-back line. Schäuble tried to tap it further on. Stephen Carter tries to storm his way through. Can't do so. Crow goes to ground, but he's still in there battling hard. Over the top of him is Josh Franco, and we'll find ourselves with a bounce.
Don, Scott Cummings has got to take those marks that he missed a moment ago. He was the only one who got his hands to it. He had his
he's a big fellow, and he showed a lot
of,
more when he was at Essendon, didn't he?
He had his opponent right out of position.
60 plays at 27. One by Poole. This is better. The kick is by Peter Burgoyne. It's going to be close. A much-needed goal to Port Power. just turned 19 years of age. Peter Burgoyne gets his first.
Well, he's an all teal cupper, all Australian teal cupper. There he is, young Peter Burgoyne. Started on half forward. Still got an immature body, but he's got a lot of pace, a lot of know-how. And originally from Darwin is Peter. And there's Scott Cummings off the ground. They must be tapping you, Peter, because you're a wealth of information.
So 60 plays 33. Scott Cummings is off the ground because I'm sure John Carl thought what I did. He really should have taken that mark. But Port hanging in there. Quick hand pass was by Kingsley. Then a kick by Primus down towards the half-forward line. Buckley, will the bounce sit for him? Well played by Nathan Buckley.
Good effort.
And he drives it with a long kick to the half-forward line. A one-on-one contest. Here's Adam Huskus. Oh, that's almost holding the ball as he threw it up in front of him. And the umpire lets him get away with it.
Well, you've got to congratulate Rocker on that occasion for that great tackle, and Monkhorst coming off. And Richards has really got to start and get his hand on the ball, because the Port Adelaide side getting the ball out of the centre, mainly due to the fact that Primus and also Adelaide were getting their hands on the ball. They were out jumping Monkhorst.
So he used his body well then again, Primus too. But here's Curran from 50 metres. Chris Curran goes for
not
goal.
another one.
Oh, goal number 11. What a good goal. That is now, Donald, 11 straight.
It's unbelievable.
5-3.
Well, Curran was a very good player, quite predominant early in the game. There he is wearing Jamie Turner's old number, 24. And a great kick from outside 50. It's good to see players really jumping, letting the leather go on this ball.
It's an incredible scoreline here at the MCG. Collingwood have kicked 11 straight. Port Power 5-3, claimed as Josh Franco. Out of the middle. It'll finish with Patterson. He gets caught, but he gets the hand pass away. Crow is running into trouble. So too is Walker, but he's able to get the hand pass effectively. Down to Russell. They've got to keep a perfect record intact.
He's muffed it. He could have done something.
This is the crowd.
In fact, it's okay,
it's a free kick.
It's not paid, so it's still a perfect score.
Even the umpires want to keep it perfect. Incredible. So out of trouble. To the outer side of the ground we go.
Lee Walker was really instrumental in getting that ball forward to Scott Russell. He's playing well at centre half forward, Walker.
There's a good strong mark taken by Darryl Poole. Looks in towards the forward line. No mark taken by Downsborough. Got a hand to it. He's down there now with Cummings off. Ian Downsborough, 20 games with the West Coast Eagles. Now hoping that success will come his way at his new football home. Lee Walker gets a bad bounce. Fabian Francis, almost some very clever work. Goes in again to provide the tackle. It's lost in that mass of bodies. Lee Walker picks himself up and will have another bounce.
What's he doing down there, Walker?
Under 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Well, the big fellow in Darryl Poole does well. Kick is going in towards the square. Krasiska is there. Schäuble will pass it back to him. And the energetic defender gives it away to Scotty Russell. He goes somewhat dangerously down towards the half-back line, picked up by Donald Dickey, who may make him pay, because Brent Heaver takes the mark inside 50.
Isn't disposal so important in football, Sandy?
Well, Heaver has kicked 2 at the moment, 1 in each quarter.
There's an interesting matchup down there, Fabian Francis and Lee Walker. It's a very interesting matchup.
Heaver for number 3. Former Carlton, former Demon, or big pack of players. Downsborough got high, couldn't take the mark, and eventually over the line in the right forward pocket with Gavin Brown defending grandly against Peter Burgoyne.
Well, they're a bit stiff, Port Power, to come over here to the MCG and have a side kick 11 straight against them. It's not seen too often as Don Scott's head. Now bring it back into play is Josh Franco, but it's out in the full. Or was it a free kick? It's a free kick going to Port, I think, or to Gavin Brown. It's going against Port, so Gavin Brown will take this.
I indicated, I think, too high.
Yeah, too high. So Gavin Brown making sure the umpire saw it, but he's playing very well. The captain of the side, knocked on by Walker. Attempted hand pass was by Kingsley. Well played, Fabian Francis. He chipped in beautifully and he drives it long up towards the pocket. Downsborough, one-handed, couldn't mark it, and desperation by Brown again to force it over the line.
Krista Giacomo holding on to Downsborough on that occasion, but he was to the blind side of the umpire.
66 plays 33 if you've just joined us. Collingwood, 11 straight goals. Gavin Brown, another possession, kicks towards centre wing. No mark taken. Trying to burst his way through was Adam Kingsley towards the boundary line, and now his opposing number 29, Russell, sees it over.
It's great to see Kingsley out there, Sandy. He was on the Essendon sub list for a couple of years. He's really worked hard. He played about 50 to 60 games in the Essendon reserves. Has finally got his chance, and it's great to see a guy who perseveres.
Buckley over the line. He has shown us all the skills today, Nathan Buckley. A high-flying mark, some wonderful disposals. Just in Port Power's attacking zone. Downsborough trying to do the ruck work from behind. Williams' hand pass is okay. Now they're going to start something here with Krasiska if it sits. He goes back again towards Wild. He was the one who gave it to him. Burns, I should say. Well, look alive. That's a good mark by Walker.
He is a very good player.
Well, the clapping will turn to boos if he misses this. He's kicked 11 straight, this club at the moment.
Well, he's well within kicking distance.
Yep. It's a good mark.
Oh, it's a great mark. It's a great mark.
Primus probably should have done a little bit more there, Don.
He must have a lot of character, this young fella, to come back after 3 knee operations.
45-degree angle, 40 metres out. This to kick number 12.
You can tell.
Oh, it's not pretty.
He wasn't real confident in the run-up, Peter.
Listen to that crowd. They're cruel.
It was a stuttering run-up. It wasn't a confident run-up.
No. Still looks good. 11-1 to 5-3. Stephen Paxman, the former Fitzroy fullback. He's done reasonably well. He's held Severio Rocker to 2 goals. And the ball has been bombarded down there. Oh, that's almost a mark to Anthony Rocker. Lyle can't get his boot to it. And the ball is held in there. Braden Lyle's been in plenty of the play so far. Well, he's had 4 kicks and 4 handballs. That was mainly in the first term that worked. Primus wrestling with Richardson, who gave away the free kick. It's a free kick to Matt Primus. Umpire deliberating that he was held on to. Now he gives it off. This is Shane Brewer. He's driving it long towards the half-forward line. Oh, Bond was the fly, but he couldn't mark it. Johnny Barnett at his 3rd league club swoops on this ball, has a bounce. There's no one back in the square. He's going to have to bob it long, and Primus has read this beautifully to go back and take the mark. Well played by the big fella.
Goes short. It's going to be okay to Dickey. Another one to Brewer, who had it for a moment and then lost it. Crow applies a fierce tackle. Brown is also claimed. Brewer taken to the ground. Brian Sheehan.
If you really do keep at your tackling, it's like in a boxing match. You work downstairs into the stomach area, then the boxer has really got to drop his hands, then you go for the kill to the head. And it's the same in football here. If you keep really harassing, and Brewer spilt to then the ball because he thought a tackle was going to be applied. If you can keep harassing, you'll get there.
And I remember you playing that way, only you started with the head, Don.
Oh, you've gone to the canvas too. Here's Lyle coming to the outer side, to the half-back flank. Collingwood at the moment in control, but Paxman will send Power down towards Poole. He's beaten. That's a strong mark, an excellent mark.
I'm not in favour of marking from behind, but he pulled it down.
Richardson gives it off to Russell. Buckley from behind has done it again, Don. Shoved as he took the kick. Here's Rocker. Also trying to mark from behind. Then was able to get it away, but it's taken by Lyle off to Dickey. Dickey has good support in Michael Wilson. He bounced his way across half-back. Has a look down towards centre wing. Port Power looking for the next score. Kingsley may provide the opportunity. He gives it off to Heaver. 49 metres out. Flat-looking punt kick goes towards goal. It's one behind as Ian Downsborough goes into the behind post. Now,
don't tell me he's injured, Lee Walker.
I'm looking at Lee Walker. He's coming from the ground now.
I'm sure he wouldn't be taken off for any other reason.
He's grimacing too, isn't he?
The doctor went out there, we believe. We'll get more news on that, however, but let's hope for his sake in particular that he's going to be okay, as Scotty Burns has the football.
And he brings it out towards centre wing. This is Dickey, who's playing well, Don. Into Fabian Francis. There was a dangerous kick. Robbie Armand is there. Now Alex McDonald. That was a poor kick. Now McDonald. Watson. Here's Patterson, who kicked 3 goals in the first term.
Good running.
Gives it off to Watson. He's caught. The umpire said he handballed. Armand to Russell. Russell into goal. It's another one for the Magpies. He's kicked 2.
No left foot by Shane Watson. He tried to come back onto his right foot, just too slow. In today's football, when you really are applying pressure, you've got to be a two-sided player. And here's the build-up once again. Watson getting it across quickly, and then he'll run back, takes the ball there, then tries to come. He tried to come back. He could have done something on the other side, but he's not a two-sided player. But they backed up well, Collingwood, and they got out of trouble.
Inside the last minute of the first half.
Blood rule, Sandy.
Steve McBurney.
He's got a slight scratch there. Can you see that?
I think it may have even come from someone else. He's just rubbing it off. Donald Dickey is saying, what's going on?
I remember.
Lee Walker left the ground. Matt Campbell's down there. How is he?
Yeah, Sandy, they've taken him off as a precautionary measure. In that marking contest, he did land pretty heavily. Doctors checking him for a bit of sideway movement in the medial ligament area to see whether there might be any problem there. But more precaution, I think, than anything else.
Let's hope that he's going to be okay. That would be one of the cruel blows if he was to be troubled by knee problems yet again. Primus goes for a roundhouse right and misses it. As I said, inside the last minute, trying to force his way forward was Stephen Carter. Scotty Burns gives it to Scotty Russell. The Scots combine, and away goes Collingwood. Crow in towards half forward. Primus was in the pack to effect the spoil. Rocker gets caught and dragged to the ground. Keeping it in play was Adam Huskis, but only for a moment with a clever kick.
Well, it just landed inside that kick by Adam Huskis, but it was a good kick. So they've got 27 seconds, the Magpies, to get it through the goals. Primus versus Richardson. Over the back is Buckley, who brings it back and bounces it just before the line. So it'll be another throw-in. Paul Williams, and there's Nathan Buckley. Big game for him.
Scotty Russ is now half-back, Peter, and has been for quite a while. That allows Buckley to go down forward.
Primus, Rocker, Huskis was there also. Primus does it nicely to Brown. Goes around the half-back flank area, and the mark is taken by Shane Brewer. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. Brewer from half-back.
Go down the history in the trivia book, Sandy.
Correct, yes. There's the man who did it. Josh Franco tries to get away. He can't. It's half-time here at the MCG. And what an exciting first half it's been, despite the fact that Collingwood has taken control. At the MCG, 12-1 Collingwood, lead Port Adelaide 5-4. Monkhorst is beaten in the ruck duel. Brown takes the hand pass. He's 65 metres out, goes over the top of the pack. The spinning ball hits towards goal, but it's socket off the ground.
And what Monkhorst should be doing, Sandy, is coming straight along that centre bounce. He's been beaten a lot of times. He just can't jump high enough, and it was late on that occasion he got the ball out, and He's got to do something because the ball is down in the Port Adelaide forward line because of that hit out. They just push it forward.
Peter Burgoyne, the danger player down there at the moment. Poole takes it out of the air, tries to do it on his own, and the big man does. So Darryl Poole, all 195 centimetres of him, kicks the first goal in the third quarter.
When you say he's 195 centimetres, he is a big man, Sandy. He doesn't look that big, but he has been impressive today. Number 30, centre-half forward, as I mentioned earlier, a very difficult position in which to play.
And he's done a lot of bustling and bullocking work down there as well. He's been very impressive. Now, let's see who gets it out this time. It's Lade. Oh, the bounce goes straight to Moncourt, so I still reckon they ought to throw the thing up. But here it is at half-back with a hand pass by Carter. And Port Power go forward towards the half-forward line. Scotty Burns, South Australian himself. Crow has marked centre wing. Scott Crow drives it. Oh, that's a poor kick. It's all Port down here. Number 15 you see there is Michael Wilson. And he dives on. It'll be a bounce.
You don't like the bounce, Pete, in the centre?
We saw it when we had the Whitman's Lightship in the night series. Well, how often the ball bounced in the direction of one of the ruckmen. Totally unfair, that. There's a flicked over the back by Severio Rocker. Up in the air it goes towards half forward. One-on-one contest. They dive on a Shane Watson. Almost headlocked and belted by Wilson. Down towards the centre of the ground. Krasiska. That's a very good mark by Krasiska.
To extricate himself from that was a good effort.
Made the mark, but he looked at the umpire and said, "Did you see I was being held?" He goes towards Rocker. Couldn't take it. Watson tries to get the hand pass going further afield. Now it's Armat. Goes back again towards Patterson. Centering kick in towards the pocket. Anthony Rocker is there. Unable to take the mark. Pressure now on Huskus. Gets the hand pass out the back door. And they will steady and come away, Port Power. Back towards centre wing, where Buckley used the body beautifully. Got one hand to it. Was first to recover. Shepherding sees him clear. He wobbles a punt kick. Most un-Buckley-like.
Kick, wasn't it?
Most un-Buckley-like. It was taken by Dickey. He gives it off to Huskus. Huskus kicks in towards Poole. Was in front but couldn't take the mark. Burns goes to ground. Now an opportunity for Schäuble. He's 60 metres out and closing. In towards full forward, but the numbers are there for Port Power. And Michael Wilson marked on the last line of defence. He finds Donald Dickey, who's knocked up getting possessions, is Donald. To half-back. Brown. And he's away for the Power.
So David Brown gets it towards half-forward. That's Franco. Over to Fabian Francis, who races in the goal. He belts it low. Yes, another one to Port. Fabian Francis has kicked his first, and Port doing well at the start of this third term.
Yes, excellent game. When he was at Melbourne, he was very shy. He was only a youngster, 17, I think it was, Fabian. He played that 1 or 2 games there as a half forward. Had a lot of ability. That now has matured into a very good player. Very, very impressed with him.
So back we go to the centre, where Port Power have been doing pretty well. There's the big fella there, Brendan Lade. Primus is still on the bench against Moncourt. He got his hands to it again. And a quick kick by Lade down towards the half-forward line. Buckley, cleverly played by Buckley. Armat's caught. Here's the big fella Poole diving on top of it. He's done a power of work down there around that half-forward area.
Darryl Poole on Port Power's 50-metre line. Gee, another one here, and this crowd would really be rocking. Moncourt defends towards Williams. Prolific possession winner in the first half. Goes wide towards centre wing. Barnett kicks in towards the middle. Collingwood needs a steadying goal here. It may just be provided through Williams. He kicks it high towards Severio, who uses the body. Paxman steals it from him, gets a kick away and kicks it just inside the line. There'll be a throw-in.
It was an excellent hand pass in the centre square, though. I think it was by Scott Russell. It was lightning. Here's Rocker. He took one earlier, but just couldn't grab that. But then follows up well and puts pressure on Paxman.
Rocker contesting the throw-in. Crow goes out the back door. Rocker's not there in time, however. Huskus and Paxman combine. It's the latter who heads for the boundary line. Watson, well, it's certainly not elementary for him. Out of bounds on the fall.
Very well done, Sandy. There's Shane Watson. Number 36 you see on screen is Stephen Carter. Well, another couple of quick ones that make it interesting. As the mark has been taken by Adam Huskus. Back to Carter. Carter breaks away and drives it wide. He's got a loose man out here at half back. It's Paxman. Stephen Paxman goes with a hand pass further afield. He's found Kingsley. Kingsley breaks away and drives it to half forward. He kicks to a pack situation. That was Bond. Former Carlton player. Now Patterson. Quick hand pass. Comes back to Shawball. Shawball drives it wide. And Scotty Crow couldn't hang on to it. They're after him. And smothered off the boot. Good play by Dickey. Gee, he's been an outstanding player. Brown and Williams. Williams wins it. Good kick. And he finds Patterson, centre of the ground, on to Robbie Ahmet. Ahmet dodging, weaving, races in the goal. Ahmet, will it get there? I think it will. Yes, brilliant goal.
I've been impressed with Ahmet. Last year, he really didn't show much, but on today's performance, he really has improved. He's moving very, very well. He's using his pace wisely. He's finishing off well, and he's got a little bit of poise about his game now. Here he is. He'll be finishing up with it. The way he changes direction, goes to the bounce, that's real confidence. Finishes off well.
If things keep going like this, they might change the trivia question for this game. Not who kicked Port Power's first goal, but who kicked Collingwood's only behind. Still a long way to go, though. But certainly a handy one. Lyle, taken in the tackle, loses the ball. They fight hard for it. Brewer comes in over the top. Eventually it's Barnett. Sends Collingwood towards Rocker. 1-2 grabs. Not enough, however. And again, the power will steady. Come to the half-back flank and Michael Wilson, who marks. He's away. Wilson to centre wing. It's okay. Burgoyne's in front. Gavin Brown leaves him and Burgoyne kicks to half forward. Heaver in trouble. Beautifully tackled. Taken by Bond. Now he needs somewhere to take a mark, but there's no one at home. And Buckley does it unopposed. He's got Russell screaming for it one side, Krasiska on the other. He chooses Krasiska. He could go inside to Curran, but elects to go longer. Up towards centre wing. Lyle showed courage, running with the flight of the ball, and he's going to be paid it. Floats it to Brewer. Shane Brewer has a look down towards the 50, and the diving mark is okay, taken by Stephen Carter. Carter's a long way out. He's 70 metres from home. He's got Downsborough down at full forward, but Monkhorst is lurking in that area too. So his options are few. Poole was his target, unable to take the mark cleanly. Oh, the snap is high by Josh Franco. It looks good. Franco gets his first. The 96 Magarey medalist keeping them in touch. 13-1 plays 8-4.
Now, for an experienced player, it just shows how much out of touch Monkhorst is. Now, watch Monkhorst in this situation. A big fellow should do better than this. Looks, he misses the ball altogether, and he should have hammered that towards the boundary line. But it was excellent play by Franco to rove that. But very, very poor play by Monkhorst. He's certainly not at his peak.
27 points the Magpies lead by. Oh, Mead won it again. Late, I should say, won that again. Oh, good play by Crow, crashing his way through the middle and brings it down and finds Shane Watson 50 metres from goal. The Rocker boys are back in the square. Shane Watson, not a renowned long kick. He will have to kick this 50 metres. Trainer talking to Damien Moncos. Just inside 50 goes Watson. He drives a goal. I think he might have just took that, trying to get the extra distance, and he's missed.
Yes, Pete, Moncos I think is going to come off because Richardson is on the sidelines preparing again. So from the kick in, goes to half back. It's okay. Power want a couple of quick ones to really throw the cat amongst the pigeons as Lyle takes the mark just on the defensive side of centre. Thought about and eventually does go back to Michael Wilson. Wilson chips to half forward. That's not a good kick. Crow intercepts. His target was Downsborough, who can't get into the game at the moment, but there's another turnover. Back to Wilson. This time he goes into the middle, Michael Wilson, and he finds Lade on the end of the hand pass from Brewer. Lade's kick is long to fall forward. It bounces over the back. Danger here for Collingwood. As Schäuble heads towards the boundary line, Burgoyne is there with him. Beats them both, and a throw in the right forward pocket as Moncos on the bench.
Doesn't look too happy about it, Big Damien. So half forward. They're right in this game, Port Power, at the moment, as Poole's got it, gets his boot to it. Steve Patterson kicked 3 goals in the first term. Drives it wide, finds Scott Crow. Crow at half-back. They've created the loose man. He can go to Buckley. Now, Port have got it all covered 60 metres from here, so Buckley's forced to go across the ground. And he finds Stephen Patterson, who drives it to the half-forward line. They should mark here, Collingwood. Yes,
well done by Watson.
Mark Richardson on the Paul Williams, will race in the goal and puts it through the middle.
Now that's Williams' 3rd goal, but if we can get it, I hope we can go back, because Watson did a very intelligent thing. He allowed Richardson to take the mark when they switched play. He shepherded his opponent. Had he have not done that, it would have certainly been a contest. The ball would have spilt the ground, but Richardson took the mask. Now here it is. Now watch this build up. Now there's nowhere to go, so they've got to go across ground. Now there's a switch.
Collingwood at the moment having all the answers. 14-2, plays 8-4. The margin is 34 points. It was 39 at half-time. Brewer got a hand to it. Brown also this time gets a kick. Down to centre half forward. Well, crunched was Scotty Burns. The umpire calls play on. Here's a chance for Poole. Directly in front. He snaps at goal. Might have pulled it a little too far. And it's one behind.
He's a tough nut. Burns is up, but the Port fellow is still down.
Oh, he's out.
It doesn't look too good at all. No, he's grimacing.
It's bleeding from the mouth too. So the play's going to be held up here. Get that mouth guard out.
And here's a crash. Might have been a clash of heads. It's Downsborough down.
Yeah, Ian Downsborough.
In the meantime, Burns is up, but I think not 100% either. So it looks as though Downsborough is going to be stretched from the ground. In fact, I don't think he'd be too sure at the moment what ground he's at, which is unfortunate. They've had their problems down in that forward line. Cummings started the day there. Looks as though he may be coming back again. Let's have a look at it again, Don.
Yeah, the Burns eyes for the ball and crash. It looks like a clash of heads because Burns is also a little groggy out there, and really, if he's not feeling too well, he should come off the ground. Still with the doctor, that's Burns. There he is there. It's a tough nut. Yeah, he's still holding his head. He's not too flash. Let's hope Downsborough's all right. I think he is. He's conscious.
Holding his neck, taking every precaution possible. Straight off the ground. he'll be taking no further part in the proceedings today, and it looks as though Cummings will be the player to come back on.
Port Power seem to have, we see Ian Downsborough coming off, unfortunately for him and the club. They seem to have a terrific representation here, Port Power. They're making plenty of noise, their supporters, and it's good to see. And let's hope he's not seriously hurt, Ian Downsborough. The main thing you've got to worry about in a clash like that would be a fractured cheekbone, I suppose. As Gavin Krasiska about to kick in. 14-2 Collingwood, 8-5 Port Power. Great atmosphere here today. Two of the greatest clubs in Australia. Collingwood with a terrific tradition, and so have Port Adelaide. There's the short kick coming in towards Scott Russell. Russell's going to transfer play here and finds Curran. He's off. Chris Curran to Williams, who's been outstanding. He's caught. They might be holding the ball. No, he didn't have time to get rid of it. The Port Power supporters are crooked on that one. But Brian Sheehan deliberating that Paul Williams had no chance.
Well, I think he had plenty of opportunity to get rid of that ball.
It should have been holding the ball when you look at it in replay. He tried to beat the man. So not a good decision. Now there's Mark Richardson. Kick forward by Michael Wilson. It's a high one, a chance for Port Power here. Brown using his body to shepherd, allows Preston Giacomo to drive it out of the danger area towards the half-forward line for the Magpies. Oh, strong play. McDonald was legged, I think. Yes, it's his kick, Alex McDonald. Standing on the mark is Darren Mead. McDonald's going wide. Russell's on his own. Gives up a hand pass to Robbie Ahmed. He goes inside. David Brown catches Patterson. A quick kick by Russell down towards the half-forward line. They're doing a right defence, but here's Severio Rocker from a standing start. He's kicked a great goal, the big fella. So Rocker has kicked his third. Collingwood their 15th.
Well, he showed great recovery, but he was on his left foot. I don't understand why he didn't keep going on his left foot. We'll watch this on replay. They really did muck it up here, Collingwood. They just pushed it forward. Finally, the high ball. Walker does well to follow up. Now there, he should have kept going on his left, but maybe he saw Huskus. Good play nonetheless.
Severio Rocker, 3 kicks, 3 goals. 92 plays 53. So the halftime margin is back with us once again after the Power made an early surge in the third quarter with a couple of goals. Curran picks himself up. So too Shane Brewer, who kicked the first goal for Port Power. There's the job on Buckley. Oh, look at the tackle of Wilson. Barnett going absolutely nowhere. And another bounce. Just into the attacking zone. Collingwood, it's an amazing scoreline. 15 goals, 2. Richardson in the thick of things. Taken by Curran. Wobbling a puck down towards half forward. Paxman couldn't pick it up. Comes wide to Brown, courtesy of Mead. Brown, realising he didn't have a lot up forward, wanted it wider towards the boundary line, but it was picked up by Williams. Charges back in towards Rocker territory again. Ahmed is there also. Port Power defence.
Port Adelaide are getting a lot of players across that full back line. You just wonder where the opposition is. Collingwood now. Collingwood are predictable in as much as they're going to go high and long down to that full forward line because they've got the big fellows there. But Collingwood have got to get underneath. The little fellows from Collingwood have got to get underneath the feet of Rocker.
That was Anthony Rocker, and that is Dickey giving it away towards Huskus, who chips wide, but instead it goes straight to McDonald. He comes back to Patterson. He's 70 metres out from goal. Dickey's going to be brought back on the mark.
Very crowded forward line, Sandy. Collingwood's forward line very crowded.
Opened in blazing style with 3 goals, did Steve Patterson. Chips into the pocket to Crow. Well, he's still a considerable distance. He's going to be kicking from just on 50 or go short to Williams, which he does. So a couple of chips and they've come in probably 25 metres, but the angle is just as acute. "20 possessions for Williams. He's been one of Collingwood's most prolific ball getters, along with Nathan Buckley, who's been busy. Goes short to Curran, who's about to have his 9th kick. Gavin Brown has also been highly effective. So Chris Curran, chance to add to that goal he booted in the 2nd quarter. "42 metres out. He gets underneath a drop putt, but it's okay. It's straight through for another one to Collingwood. So he gets his 2nd, and Collingwood again ease forward.
Well, they worked that very well, didn't they? 4 kicks, and they really didn't cover much distance, maybe 20 metres at the most, but they finally finished off with a goal. So Collingwood worked it particularly well after Scott Burns had it, or was it Stephen Patterson? I get confused. I think it was Patterson who initiated it. 3 short passes later, they finished with a goal.
Well, it's just under an 8-goal lead now to Collingwood, so it's not looking so good on the scoreboard now. But here's the big fella crashing his way through the middle lane, down towards full forward. Oh, good mark. Now that's what they need from Cummings. So one grab marks down there.
But also, Peter, you've got to appreciate the
Quick
ball
kick.
came out of the centre very, very quickly.
So Scott Cummings, his first kick of the game.
See how it came out? It was sharked actually by Lade. But nonetheless, if it's a fast, long kick out of the square, it really does help the forwards.
So this is his first touch for the day.
It was a beautiful kick for goal.
And he's normally a good kick for goal, and boy, they need it. And he looks happy with it. It's a goal, all right, right through the middle. So that will lift his confidence, Scott Cummings, the former Bomber, and maybe will lift Port a bit, as they've got plenty of representation here.
Well, I also think you've got to consider his opponent, Prestigiacomo, has done particularly well. He's put himself in front. He's been playing well, but on that occasion, Cummings just outbodied him, got in front. He's a big lad, Scott Cummings.
Port's 9th is Cummings first. As we go back to the centre once again, Lade gets a big run at it, but it's taken out in the middle by Buckley with a high kick. Braden Lyle's got to stand for the galloping hordes as they come towards him. Patterson gets a lightning hand pass off to Buckley. Here's danger, may try and do it all on his own. No, it's swept wide. And the shot by Richardson from 48 metres looks pretty good.
Don't tell me.
How's that for a quick reply? Mark Richardson gets his first, and Collingwood, their 17th.
Well, his uncle, Max, used to wear number 3. He was deputy vice-captain at Collingwood for quite a few years. But I was impressed with his work also in the square then, Richardson. He jumped for the ball, hit it with his left hand, and now he's followed up. There's also a good effort by Rocker. It takes a courageous player to throw yourself like Rocker did at the ball, because he has come crashing to the ground, and there's good mobility shown by the big fella then. He's done well since he's come on. Mark Richardson.
So back to the middle. We saw a shot of John Cale a moment ago. Taken away by Krasiska to the half-forward line. Watson couldn't mark. Is it a free kick? The umpire said yes, because the Port player ran at Watson without looking at the ball. Watson brings it across the ground. It's all Port, but it's a loose ball. Comes to the brilliant Williams. He drives it back to the square. It's all Port, and the mark has been taken down there by Michael Wilson. Wilson, a shocking kick, an absolute shocker, straight in the hands of Scott Crow, and it may cost them a goal.
That was a bad one, wasn't it? I mean, he's actually picked out Scott.
It was meant for David Brown, as you can see.
I don't know whether it was meant for Brown or the fellow over the back.
I think it was meant for Brown, but Scott Crow from 30 metres, 45-degree angle, and it's another one.
It's his second, Scott Crow. And It's Collingwood's 18th. What fantastic kicking by Collingwood. That is sensational kicking. You see here on replay the mistake. Actually, Port Adelaide had quite a few players ringing Scott Crowe, but he's picked the wrong option, or the ball just didn't quite carry.
In the 3 quarters so far, they've kicked 7 goals straight, 5 goals won, and now 6 goals won. Quite incredible. But let's see what happens from the middle this time. It's Brown who takes it out of the centre for Port Power, down towards half forward. They're desperate for a couple of goals to stay in this game. Poole comes over the top, and Scotty Burns is having a bit to say. And in fact, the umpire has decided that's the way it will go towards Collingwood. So Brown goes to Buckley. Buckley's picked up plenty of possessions too. That was number 22 to centre half forward he goes. Rocker wobbles it along in front of him. Then crunches Darren Mead. He goes to ground. Huskus wobbles one back towards centre wing. Buckley was there. Time to have a look, Nathan Buckley. Just takes a floater to Williams. Williams has got Russell further afield. Back inside he goes towards Curran. 51 metres out. Ripped off the ball as he takes the kick down towards the pocket. And it goes over the line. Barnett unable to keep it in play. Now let's catch up with the latest medical reports. Matt Campbell.
Yeah, the physical side of it taking its effect on the Port Power side, Sandy. Haven't got a full report on Downsby yet. We'll get that at 3/4 time. But Brent Heaver's off the ground. Ice pack just above the knee. Doesn't look too good for him.
Thank you, Matt. No, it does not. Now, Wilson. This time finds his mark. It's going to be okay. Paxman to Huskus. Adam Huskus from half-back looks down towards the centre wing area. And a good mark taken by Russell.
He's done well, Sandy. He's resting across half-back.
Scotty Russell. Pressure from Burgoyne, but it was okay. And there's a fine mark taken by Crowe. He's looking the goods as he spears it into centre half forward. He had a couple of options there, but it was the good doctor.
Well, some bad signs for Port. Collingwood are marking uncontested on numerous occasions now.
Watson directly in front. Kicks from 50 metres, not going to make the distance. Oh, Samaria Rock has been handed on a plate. Oh dear. And that, I think, Don says it all.
Feel really, if the hole was big, and here's Gavin Brown going off, and Stephen Paxman, he'd be looking for a hole in which to crawl. Unfortunately, he made a mistake. And really, when you're a backman, you can't afford to make a mistake because it's reflected on the scoreboard. It's a hard position to play. Shocking kick off the boot. And there's Rocker. He was behind. Paxman in front. You can't criticise Paxman. He was in front. And Brown going off because of the blood rule. Osborne coming back. And now Osborne is injured, so they must have a depleted injury bench, Collingwood. And also Port Adelaide.
Richard Osborne. Footscray last year.
Sav Rocker's 4th goal too.
Yeah, 4 goals for a big fellow, and he won't get one easier than that. So back with the middle. Richardson gets it down with 2 hands in the direction of Patterson, who does well. On the left foot, down towards Watson, who's moving very well.
Well done again,
Shuffled
Watson.
it out to Patterson. On the Buckley, who's a dynamic kick on his left foot. He bends it back, Buckley, but not far enough. One behind.
Good handball by Watson, then quick reflexive stuff. It was on his non-preferred side. He's normally a right-hander, but he used his left hand to advantage.
There's a little fella, Tony Shaw, 300-game player, coach of the side. And he'll be pleased with what he's seeing at the moment. Kick in, oh, dangerous kick in again. Barnett chips in from the boundary line. Johnny Barnett bends it back. Rocker, use of the body, oh, almost, yes, a mark, yes. I've got a sneaking suspicion the third bite might have come off Paxman there.
I think it did, Peter. He brought it to ground, but I think it came onto the body of Paxman. Watch this.
Let's have a look. 1, 2, oh, it might have come off Paxman, but still the umpire could be excused for that one. He's 10 metres out, slight angle, so the big full forward's 5th goal looks like coming up here.
Got a great physique, hasn't he?
Saverio Rocker, you look at that kicking style, that concentration, beautiful. Bang. And he's kicked his 5th. And the Magpies waltz on. Unbelievable kicking. 19-3 to Port Power 9-5.
20 goals, 3.
Oh, 20, sorry.
And Barnett did well here. They're obviously instructed to centre the ball, centre it high. Rocker fortunate to grab it, but nonetheless, his 5th goal.
6 goals in 12 minutes to Collingwood. They've just ripped this game right apart. Richardson doing the work in the middle. Brown gets it out, kicks down towards half forward. Clean bowls a couple, but not Scotty Russell. Poole on his hammer. He gets his kick, a floating punt kick wide towards half back. Dickey and Williams are there, and it's Donald who sees it over the line.
Richardson doing really well in the centre bounces now, although Lade's jumping higher. Richardson's jumping a fraction early, turning his body and at least controlling it.
That's his best position, I think, Mark Richardson in a ruck.
He's a real spare parts man, isn't he?
8 goals, 2. Collingwood's kicked for the quarter. Burgoyne gives it to Lyle. The acting captain boots it high towards centre half forward. Shortle was the flyer, couldn't take it. While waits down. Scotty Burns kicks towards centre wing. Rocker does it beautifully. This was Anthony to centre half forward. Richard Osborne gives the hand pass to Barnett. Going past, he should kick another one. All too easy for the Pies at the moment.
He looks all right, Richard Osborne. He looked a little bit gingy. You know, he didn't really move with great confidence when he gave that handball, but he looks all right. He had that ice pack on his hip or his stomach area as he walked off the ground at half-time, but he was instrumental in getting this ball across to Barnett. Johnny Barnett finishing off his first.
So it's becoming a bit of a blowout now after a pretty evenly contested first half.
Watson playing half-back for Collingwood, Peter.
Very versatile player, Shane Watson. So let's see what Port can do for the remainder of the game. They've been blitzed in this last 10 minutes. A hand pass comes in the direction of Lyle. It's taken away by Curran to the half-forward line, with the mark has been taken by Rocker. That's Anthony Rocker. He's going out wide. The direction of his brother, he couldn't get there. Scott Russell back to Buckley from a standing start. Buckley bombs it long. Here's a huge kick, but going back to take the mark is Darren Mead. And as Mead takes the mark, Stephen Patterson in the hands of the trainers, and the Collingwood Hordes are delighted after a blitz of goals.
Port Power. So into the final quarter here at the MCG. Collingwood with this remarkable kicking for goal have a commanding lead. Let's see if the Power can close the gap just a little as Kingsley's kick is smothered. He gets support, however, pushed wide towards centre wing. There is Brown, forever working for the beloved black and white. Good work also from Crow. Pulled off the ball as he took the kick towards the boundary line. Richardson rides one bump, then another. Wobbles it short. He wants Williams. Oh, like lightning to Ahmad. Here's danger now for Port Power as Ahmad goes inside towards Curran. 48 metres out. He steadies for goal. Going to be close. Touched on the line. What dreadful kicking. They're 4th behind is registered. And we're only just starting the final turn. 21-4 plays 9-5.
Stephen Paxman on screen. So done reasonably well. He's held Rocker to 5 goals. Tried very hard, or dangerous kick in, but it'll come off, and a nice mark taken by Stephen Carter. Play on called the umpire. He was off, and then he was grabbed, so he's a little bit lucky. There's Mark Richardson, whose dad Wayne, a magnificent player. See this, he tries to hand pass and caught by Mark Richardson, well aware of it. Here's the brilliant Williams, but he went without it. Taken by Dickey, smothered off the boot, grabbed by Scott Russell, into the pocket, back with the flight of the ball is Anthony Rocker, and he will shoot for goal from about 40 metres on a fairly acute angle. Fairly quiet day, Anthony Rocca, Don.
He's been I thought he's been very enthusiastic, Peter, although he probably hasn't had the stats, but he's certainly thrown himself at the ball enthusiastically. He's crashed the ground.
Well,
Sydney be ruining the fact that he's not playing for them. He didn't show that in Sydney.
Well, he wanted to play for Collingwood, and they could do with the centre-half forward, the Magpies. He was normally a good kick. Plenty of concentration like his brother. As he waltzes in a goal, goes bang, and he's happy. He's kicked it. So Anthony Rocca has kicked his second. His brother has kicked 5. And the Magpies have kicked 22-9.
And here's the mark. The ball spills out. Williams after. He's done very well. Russell spotting Rocca. He cribs an extra pace as he lines up. Lays back on it. Not a problem distance.
Collingwood extend their lead. Back to the centre. Lade and Richardson. Trying to burst through was Josh Franco. Couldn't do so. Sock it off the ground a second time, this time by Russell, down towards half forward, through Kingsley. Back pedals Williams. Oh, does well to go in and get that ball out. Dickey's in all sorts of bother. Curran is there working hard. So too Barnett pushes it towards the line. Huskis puts his body over it. Hangs on to it a long time. Barnett asks the question. And Brian Sheehan says, no, I'll have it. There's Gavin Wanganeen in the middle of your picture. Looking a little nervous. And I guess very disappointed that he can't be out there with his teammates. Gavin Brown looking to gain front spot. Is the first to recover. Comes inside towards Williams. Hello, he's lost it. He's regained it. Lost it, regained it again. Back again to Brown from a standing start. He wobbles a punt kick towards a Rocca territory. Watson was there. Huskis tries to sock off the ground. Dickey, the hand pass back to Huskis. Little right foot chip, doesn't have a lot of distance about it. Barnett in trouble. Comes inside again to Williams. Looks for the hand pass further infield. It's okay to Krasiska. He can chip away inside 50, and he finds his mark this time, Richardson. Kicked a goal in the third quarter after having spent considerable time on the bench. But this for number 23 for Collingwood. Kicking from 51 metres. Flat looking at drop punt is away to the left. And the rarity again occurs. Another behind for Collingwood.
Well, he's a mobile big fella, Mark, and there's the man who replaced Damien Monkhorst sitting on the bench, Stephen Paxman. Had the big job today on Severio Rocca. Paxman drives it straight down the middle of the ground.
Oh.
Mark to Rocca. No,
I thought he brought that down.
I think the umpire must have thought it hit the ground on that second bite, and Rocca is not happy about it.
And here he is, the big fellow in front. Hands. Oh, well, we can't see.
I was on the blind side of Brian Sheehan too, so there's a quick kick from Wilson to the centre of the ground. The bounce, very, very important here. Krasiska knocked it on. So did Watson. Here's Andrew Shawble. Bring it down towards the half-forward line. Barnett got a hand to it. Here's Wilson again. Bring it back towards centre wing. Braden Lyle is after it. He's trapped it. Drives it to the half-forward line. And the mark has been taken down here by Damien Squire. Squire, long kick up towards the direction of Cummings, and Cummings has marked. So they really need... They've still got Scott Hodges there, of course, so it'll be out of Cummings and Scott Hodges for full forward, I'd imagine. Cummings...
He doesn't look like he's confident in kicking that goal. He's looking everywhere except where he's going to kick it. He's well within kicking distance.
He actually is a very long kick, but it's not a matter of length here, it's the accuracy. Pretty acute angle. Let's hope for his sake he can kick it. He kicks it hard. Might have just missed, judging by the goal umpire. He has.
(9-6) plays 22-5. Nathan Buckley. arguably one of the greatest deliverers of the ball in the game. Can kick long distances too. Almost to the centre of the ground. Belted in towards the middle. It's going to be a free kick. Going the way of Port Power. We've really struggled to kick goals in this second half. They've managed just 4. Maybe Squire will give them opportunity here. He goes from 51 metres with a long kick, Squire. And right on the last line of defence is the kicker himself, the designated kicker, Nathan Buckley. Off he goes to Gavin Brown. Better be quick. Pushed as he took the kick back towards Curran at centre wing. Lyles in front. Gets the hand pass away. It's okay to Franco. Another one to Francis. Fabian goes goalwards and puts it through. His second. Both coming in the second half.
Probably Port's best player, Fabian Francis, is quiet in the third quarter, but then again, he wasn't alone. There weren't too many Port players put up their hand as Collingwood have mounted an avalanche on the scoreboard. Lyle did particularly well early, Francis.
So Port have kicked their 10th. Collingwood on 22-5 to 10-6. Mark Richardson done fairly well in these ruck contests. I mentioned I played with his father for just about all my career. He was a dead set champion, Wayne, but not as big as this fella.
No, he's a real freak, isn't he, Mark, because his father had played as a rover and his uncle wasn't that tall either.
Now there's Dickey getting it from Francis. He's played well, Dickey. I reckon he's been their best player. Now here's Scott Cummings. Let's see what he can do. He gives it off. Racing into goal is Wilson, and he has missed. It was given to him on a plate there by the big fella Cummings. 22-5, plays 10-7. Still 13 minutes left. As Gavin Krasiska chipped it in to Gavin Brown. Haven't seen him move this well for a couple of seasons. Scott Russell, eventually Ahmad on to Buckley. Buckley will bomb it long. Where's Rocker? They're both down in that direction. Over the back was Paxman. Gives it to Huskers. And he's kicked it straight into the man running towards him, Williams. Williams bombs it in a goal. Touched before it went over the line by Mead. And the opportunist, Williams, nearly with that smother and taking the ball away, kicked the goal.
Well, here's the cutout. Huskers straight to Williams, and Williams didn't hesitate. Long bomb. Collingwood are now predictable in what they're doing.
Paxman goes straight down the ground and finds Brown.
He's had a quiet day, David Brown.
He's at half back. Goes even wider. The acting captain has tried his hardest, but the pressure has been intense from Collingwood. Right from the outset, when there's a lot of nerves, here's Schäuble coming across the ground, finding a Richardson, pops one over the top. They're going through the motions now. Crow ambles down centre wing, has a couple of bounces, then gives the long hand pass to Robbie Ahmad, goes inside to Osborne. Richard Osborne goes back to Buckley. He'll steady from 55 metres and go with a long bomb. It is long, but it's too wide, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Lade has gone off for a spell for Port Adelaide, and Primus on.
Oh my hat, it's happened again, but it's going to come back. Went over the line, so there'll be a throw in.
Rocco was trying to claim it was out in the full. He's got the grin on the face.
Anything's worth a chance, I guess, isn't it? Stephen Patterson, former Redleg. Thrown in the right forward pocket. Lock arms. Something the umpires do not encourage. This is delightful work by Curran. He should cap it off, but he can't. Deserved better. He's kicked 2 goals, dodging and weaving.
That's been impressive today too, Sandy.
Well, there's the big monkey coming on for one final run. 22-7, plays 10-7. Collingwood has booted 1 goal 4 this term. They'd be quite distressed about that. Paxman uses the allotted time and kicks to the outer side. Oh, there are a lot of Collingwood players waiting down for this one. Curran does it beautifully. How's this for Alex McDonald? He has kicked his first, and Collingwood fans delirious. 23-7 plays 10-7.
Well, unfortunately, it's becoming a little bit of a training drill. And the ball punched back. That's good play by the big fella Rocker. And there's terrific tap on by Curran. And McDonald running through. As Monkhorst is on, he's going down to the forward pocket.
The margin is now 13 goals. Favour of Collingwood as Primus gets his hands to it and then follows up. Good play by big Matt Primus and kicks it up and under kick. Travels about 20 metres. Back with the flight was Brewer. Here's Brown getting into all sorts of trouble. Poole went without it. The big fella crashes into Brown. And Kevin Brown, the captain, takes the ball to the ground.
Monkhorst in the forward pocket, sitting in the goal square, Peter, and Port Adelaide have done exactly the same thing with Lade, or they're going to do it with Primus. Lade looks like he's going to contest this hit down, bounce down.
And Poole coming in to do some ruck work too. The big thump was by Mark Richardson. Here's Fabian Francis. Oh, he's hit hard with a hip and shoulder. Dickey goes in there. Alex McDonald also, and the umpire will bounce it again. So a very promising first half. It was Alex McDonald who laid that hard hip and shoulder bump. There's Gavin Brown doing the ruck work. Quick hand pass comes from Franco. Smothered. Oh, well done by Robbie Ahmed. There's Brewer trying to get in a hand pass. He does so. This is Lyle, a quick kick. Down towards half-wide line. Krasiska races out. Takes the mark.
Plays on straight away to Prestigiacomo. Wider to the outer side of the ground. Russell late on the scene. Michael Wilson is first there. Can't keep it in play. And we'll see a throw in. Michael Wilson tried hard. 15 kicks. 5 marks. Richardson lurking at the back. Primus opting to go to the left. Bond started on the bench. Kicks high to centre half forward. Collingwood defence is like a brick wall at the moment. McDonald again kicks it high. Patterson, I think, called out on that occasion by Anthony Rocker. He was. Rocker goes back now. Gets the call from his brother. Down towards full forward.
The big men don't get any smaller, Peter, as the game goes on, do they? In fact, they get taller. Because you're very tired, and the little man can't jump quite as high. He hasn't got the strength, but the big man can just stand tall. And he did so on that occasion in Sav Rocker.
Well, 5 kicks for 5 goals is not bad, is it?
No, you can't better that return. Unless you want to make it 6 from 6. That's what he's attempting now from 43 metres. And has missed. Don thought he'd seen everything.
So Stephen Paxman. Bring it back in or down the middle. He finds Braden Lyle. Lyle transfer play here right out towards centre wing. He finds Fabian Francis. Has a bounce. Goes over the top. He's looking here. Oh, it's a bad handball to Poole. And it's forced to the line by Shawble. And it's about 65 metres around from the Port goal. Poole to do the ruck work against Shawble. Richardson comes flying over the top and belts it towards the line. And there's Gavin Brown, who was brilliant in the first half. Scotty Burns, unfortunately off the ground after a heavy collision. Richard Osborne is there also. So the throw in. And 80 metres out from the Port goal. Richardson gets front position. Poole very, very strong. Franco on the brown. He's caught. He's unloaded. Taken by Buckley. Buckley drives it with a magnificent long kick, but Lamarck will be taken here by Wilson. Off he goes. He's a left footer. He kicks an up and under one towards the square. It's all Collingwood taking the mark. Nathan Buckley.
A number of unchecked players. Russell is one. Oh, look out, Curran, they'll get you. Bang. Sold into trouble there. Franco tried to get it out initially. Krasiska tried to hold it up. Finally, it's Curran. Down towards Rocker. The race is on. Patterson may be first to it. Can he pick it up? Primus is hot on his heels. The big man does well as he forges it towards the line. Rocker is there also. It beats him over. There'll be a throw in on the outer side.
You're right, Sandy. He really did well, the big fellow. Then Primus.
On right half forward for Collingwood. Anthony Rocker was doing the ruck work, but it's Bond who takes it away. He gives it to Lyle. Lyle chips up over the middle. And now the race is on. Crow was leading, but then overran it. Well done by Squire to get the hand pass away. It came back to him again. He eventually gives it to Lade, who looks towards goals, and he's done it for Port Power. Brendan Lade gets his first.
Well, they could have two of the better ruckmen in the league, Port Adelaide, in Lade and Primus. It could be embarrassing. And also you've got Downsborough. Unfortunately, Downsborough's off the ground injured at the moment, but he was a terrific contributor for West Coast last year. And it could be embarrassing as to what they're going to do with the three of them. But there he is, Lade, finishing off very, very, very well. Very polished in his disposal.
So big Brendan Lade would be pretty happy with that goal. He did it well too. Primus. Here's Barnett. He's caught. Franco was there. Dickey gets it to Primus. Primus a quick kick down towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Brewer. Can he get a kick to it? He just gets it. Goes about 2 feet. Hooked out. Back towards Cummings. Cummings gets a boot to a ball and puts it through for a behind.
John Barnett would be happy with his game too, Peter. He's been, as you mentioned earlier, at Hawthorn. He started at Hawthorn. Didn't get his opportunity there. They were very strong whilst he was there. Went to North Melbourne, limited chances, but has done quite well today at his third club.
Buckley is controlled as like a sweeper across that back line. Here's Robbie Ahmed. Goes inside the Brown. Will he go back to Ahmed? No, he won't, because Francis has got him covered. Kevin Brown has to come back into the fray, or he drops short. Krasiska on to Russell. Russell into the centre of the ground. Watson. Now Patterson. Stephen Patterson's going to run round the man. He's going to run inside 50. Now he comes onto the left hand. Gives it across to Williams. Williams kicks a goal, and he's kicked goal number 4. And that Magpie man there with a rocker jumper on is absolutely ecstatic.
He looks more like Renee Kink in 36 than he does Sav Rocco. But Williams has probably been Collingwood's best player, arguably best player today. Finishing off, Stephen Patterson runs a ball deep into the forward line, and Williams finishes off well.
.152 plays 74. Primus up a fraction early, but wins it. Watson gets it out of the centre. They give it to Russell. Russell wants someone going past, and he's got McDonald. Alex has a look downfield. It's a barnstorming finish by Collingwood. Rocker couldn't take it. Monkhorst goes in for the second grab. Gives it to Barnett. A snap by Barnett. It's a beauty. What a way to finish. Touched off the boot, would you believe it? Collingwood fans can't.
It looked a ripper, didn't it?
Well, it was, but it was touched. It was a great kick. 24-9. Plays 11-8. Paxman again. Kicking out work has been kept to a minimum, really, as far as Collingwood's been concerned today. Huskus towards half back. Oh, Williams is lurking again. from 48 metres. Paul Williams goes bang and puts through another behind. 24-10. Who would have thought that? Because they've now kicked their last 10 shots, 3 goals, 7. So Paxman getting some work. Veteran of 102 games. They'll be relying on his experience this year. Wilson marks in the back pocket. Wants to go and does eventually. And Robbie Armack quite content to see it over the line. Adam Kingsley looks back queryingly from where the ball came. Monkhorst and Primus contest as it goes out the back.
Gavin Brown coming off for Collingwood.
Peter Burgoyne picks himself up.
Speed Osborne back on Sandy.
Yep. Aussie, that injury can't be all that bad as Wilson gives the hand pass away. If Osborne can come back onto the ground, may just about get into the thick of things here. Although Lyle and Primus both jostle for it. Oh, Primus does remarkably well. Shows great agility for a man of his size. And then kicks down towards half forward, the mark taken by Lade. He also looks quite agile to Cummings. Drop Prestigiacomo under the ball and will now go back for a set shot 30 metres out.
Lade's been very impressive. He's impressive on the ball and has been very impressive since he's gone forward in this last quarter.
Directly in front, 15 metres out. And he has kicked one for the power, his second. So Scott Cummings, both of those goals coming in the second half. Port have registered their 12th. They're 12-8-80, but they trail by 74 points.
Well, Primus in there, and he gets it, but it's a good mark here by Lade. He's got good spring. He finished off with a running goal earlier and shows again good delivery of the ball. And Cummings just a little bit too tall on that occasion.
So over 12 goals the margin, but even so, a couple of promising, as we see Dickey again go forward, but a couple of promising things for Port. They're playing a good side. Krasiska drives it down towards the direction of Barnett. Taken away by Bond. Further afield with Squire. Goes inside to Lyle. Back to Squire. Up towards half forward and another mark to Cummings, and that is what he needs to do, use his strength and his height, because he is a great kick at goal. Using his body better now, Don.
Well, I suppose the stink really gone out of the game too, Peter. But you are right. He did what Rocket did to Paxman down the other end of the ground earlier in the game. Could finish off with 3 goals too. All coming in the second half.
Scott Cummings played a bit of football at Essendon at centre back as well as full forward. Kicks a goal for his third, and he may have hooked this. He has. So he won't be happy with that after doing all the hard work.
2.5 minutes remaining in this match. Gavin Krasiska, veteran now of 182 senior games. He and Gavin Brown started around the same time. Primus and Richardson, Watson in a quandary as to what to do. Put Schäuble under the gun a little, and he sees it over the line. On centre wing, Poole wins it, belts it down the throat of Brown, who spirals a punt down towards full forward, but it's going to come back. Play had virtually stopped because the free kick is going to go the way of Schauble on halfback. Thought about Crowe. We'll go a little more direct now. Long to half forward. Rocker got a hand to it, that was all. Bond's hand pass is not good, and Alex McDonald will sorely make him pay.
Well, Alex McDonald's 2 goals in the last quarter have both come from running type goals. It was a bad hand pass by Bond. He's going backwards, looking to set it up. Good kick by Schauble, but Rocker really should have taken that. There's Bond. Maybe the pressure got to him just a little bit, but McDonald has done well in the last quarter, kicking the 2 goals. Unsided earlier in the game.
So Brian Sheehan back in the centre is about to bounce it. Just under 2 minutes left. Primus gets hands to it. McDonald lays the tackle. Williams probably best man on the ground. Now racing clear here is Burgoyne onto the left. Brings it in towards Cummings underneath it. Couldn't mark, then taps it out. Well backed up. Here's Brown. Back it comes to Poole. Poole from 40 metres swings around, bends it back at goal. And I think it might have been touched over the line, so it'll be a goal to Poole. Yes. So Darryl Poole has kicked his second, and he worked extremely hard in that first half.
Yes, he did, Peter. His first half was his good half. And here he is running onto the ball. He's done the ruck work, playing at centre half forward. They're showing his skill, putting it up very, very high. A little bit of respectability coming on the scoreboard for Port Adelaide in this last quarter.
Now to Darryl Poole as Primus wins it, but can't take it out of the centre. It's left to McDonald, who gives it to Russell. Oh, here's danger because Richardson is just floating across half forward, and he'll spear it into Rocker.
Well, so Richardson missed the hit out, and it was well done by McDonald coming off the edge of the square. But Richardson used his mobility, although he missed the hit out. It really does put an onus onto Primus to get with him. And he was responsible, Richardson, because he's such a skilled player. He has played at full forward, centre half back, centre half forward. Such a skilled deliverer of the ball that he hit Rocker, and he was responsible. This goal's kicked.
45 metres out. Another one goes on the board for Collingwood. Big Sam has had a pretty big day. 6 goals. It's a handy start to the season.
My word, it's well done by Collingwood. There's McDonald coming off the edge of the square. And there's Richardson. Although he missed the hit out, he just kept running down to the forward line. And that's why football's such a good game, because it's a team game. You depend on one another, and it was well backed up and initiated by McDonald on this square.
Bounce is not a good one. It favours Primus. Belts it wide, it's taken by Crowe. Off to Patterson. Back to Watson. In trouble. Back to Patterson again. Thought about Russell, then decides to go. And he does. Stephen Patterson. High and long to full forward. Monkhorst was there, but he couldn't take the mark, and Dickey sees it over. Played with Norwood and also Sturt. Donald Dickey. Monkhorst does the leaning work. Dickey will have the final kick of the game as Collingwood run out big winners. Big winners indeed, as we go down to the ground with their skipper, Matt